Black Hebrew Israelites still use the Star of David? Well, because many of them are in cahoots with Satan. I got in an argument with some Black Hebrew Israelites in Columbia, South Carolina, and I literally saw him making Freemason signs. Many of them are there to distract black people. I've shook hands with them. I often feel the serpent energy, which can either feel electrical or like static type deal, because that is the spirit of the Kundalini. And so the reason why they are failing miserably at knowing God is because many of them are narcissists, struggle with narcissism, sociopathy, or psychopathy, and just want some kind of control. So they don't actually really seek the Father how they should. There's not a true obedience and humility going forth, and so they don't really get to feel, the blessings of the Father. Yes, it looks a certain way on the outside, but on the inside, it's dead man's bones. Many of them have false doctrines, of course, saying that women can't teach and you have to have a husband that can speak to them. And this is basically to silence women who have any kind of prophetic or teaching giftings, because if you use that in one of their congregations, well, then you might wake someone up and then they won't have that control over those people anymore. Many of them, I went to a congregation, I was in Atlanta, and they just have bloodshot red eyes. That to me is a sign of sickness. And the more that you delve into just having head knowledge and carnal knowledge of the word, the less likely you're going to have the true spiritual freedom in which the Father gives you. And so, because knowledge is power on some kind of level, many of them go in that direction. Many of them unfortunately get so deep into it that they can't get themselves out, and many of them are not willing to call on the Father to get themselves out because maybe they've never been taught that. I understand that many of them say that you have to come under an elder to be taught and that kind of stuff, and that is one of the biggest spiritual manipulations that someone can use, because basically it's saying, I'm your God, not God the Father. So this man is not he's not a Black Hebrew Israelite, but from what I'm picking up is he's a Freemason, because he's making these same kind of hand signals. I tried to ask him about it and he tried to get smart and cuss me out. That is a sign of someone that probably should not be in headship when you ask them a question and they don't want to answer it and they constantly evade. And so, this man, he decided he wanted to continue attacking me, saying that assembly is above obedience. Why is he saying this? Because he wants you to assemble with him so that you can be under his authority. But obedience is disobedience rather is the exact reason why even Adam got kicked out of the garden. So which is more important? Because the Messiah, he retired to a lonely place. Paul was on the road to Damascus by himself. John was scattered into the island of Patmos, and this is how we got the book of Revelation. So these men were not assembling with people at the time, but they were practicing obedience to the Most High. And so which is higher, assembling or obedience? So you have to watch out for what these people say, because these doctrines that they bring to you, that is what's going to get you led astray, You have the women in the Black Hebrew Israelite movement, and I ask for discernment a lot, and for understanding, wisdom, and knowledge from the Most High, because I know that's where it comes from. The women that I've run across, just very like Jezebel spirits, very aggressive, will stick by the doctrines that these people are teaching despite giving them scriptures from the Bible. And that says a lot too. I mean, women can also be narcissists, and when people get a little bit of power, they want to keep that power even at the integrity of their own spirit and relationship with the Father. So this is why this symbol is still being used, the six-pointed star, which is not the Star of David. The Star of David is Yeshua, because the star represents an angel. Who's the angel in Revelations? It is Yeshua himself. He never represented himself by the six-pointed star, but this emblem comes from the bottom of Saturn. It is a witchcraft symbol. It's sorcery, so that's why it's being used. But like I was saying, they want to get black people under them. They want to make Christ look bad on some certain level, so people are not attracted to the truth. So watch out for these guys. Some things they say is true, but a lot of what they say is not. Be blessed, guys.